and it's time to throw it to our casters. Merc, Maven, let's get freaky.
All righty, yeah, freaky, absolutely. Well, we were here late last night. We were getting nasty, ready for a big one to kick off the day today, and now the gauntlet. You know, we're starting to eliminate teams. We're starting to get into it. Who's going to make the run? Who's going to qualify for champs? And I mean, with this one, it's just really, I don't know. I mean, they just played the qualifier, right? It goes the whole way to a map 5. Give me more so that map 5 magic we've seen the entire event.
Yeah, I mean, the key there, though, is that was with Prolute, right? I mean, that's obviously a brand new Boston team, still a team with OpTic with a sub. Now you have Illy back. They're still trying to find their ground, but we saw that map set. Yeah, a lot of Tuscan, a lot of Bocage. You know, the videos come in. You know, the map set's a little bit different than what we saw. But, I mean, we're talking about aggression right out of the gate. You heard the Dash talk about it. On one side, you're looking at a man like Shotzzy. If they are going to play these fast-paced maps the way they have all year, he's got to be better. On the other side for Boston, you're playing with speed. You have Vivid, you have Nero. The X factor, though, is going to be TJ.
Well, hear me out. With the OpTic side, other than the struggles in the qualification, one of the things that stood out for them at the beginning of the year was the ability to come from behind sometimes, whether it was the reverse sweeps, to win the big map 4 and 5, and maybe the belief wasn't necessarily there coming into this weekend because of the struggles, but you get a win like you did where you have to clutch up in a map 4 or 5. Is it just a win like that can get you rolling in a weekend?
Yeah, I mean, what Seattle would tell you absolutely with what we saw in Major 3.
Right,
you're able to have a tough first matchup that you can clutch through. Who knows what the momentum will do for the weekend.
Yeah.
But you hear the fist bumps are out, the crowd is ready. Bocage, map 1 to start the day.
Let's hammer through it all. Let's have some fun to start off this beautiful, delightful day 3 of Major 4. And what better to get the blood flowing than an incredible Bocage. Breach, Texas, here we do battle out the gates. Let's get it rocking, everybody.
Well, we're gonna start with Vivid. He's rocking the auto off the start. Don't expect him to have this for too long. So we're gonna go to the P1, and you know, a big thing for OpTic. They're starting on good side. They're gonna try to control the left side of that mini map as we rotate over to P2. Maybe they can secure a lot of time, but for a boss, it's chipping away, trying to flip. Get pushed through the middle of the map, but a couple of team nades come in, some trades come in, and you know, it's what we expect off the first start.
We'll see what Dashy can kind of do from this power spot, just getting eyes around the hard point. Just nice little 2-0 start, nothing crazy. A little double chow there. Maybe was going to take down a third, but too much to deal with. Illy back at it, happy to be with this squad. Expected some big things for him. That's some nice recentering. You saw he kind of lost the aim assist maybe for a moment there, able to recenter and get the kill. Yeah,
Vivid gets taken down as well. He was working his way through, and there you go. That's going to be 3 dead for Boston. Nero, the first man up. He's going to have a one-on-one versus Scump right away, and well, Dashy is going to give him the help, but Nero's going to win that. Now, the pinch is going to begin as Vivid finds another one. There should be a close spawn. It is still there, but Boston, the pressure is here. Nobody's on the hill right now for OpTic, and you'll take that. I mean, there's going to be a Methodz into a power position.
Is that really like that one-on-one win for Nero? Just turns some heads and finds an opening, right? The pistol, it's hitting right now, and while the snap was on to hit the shots, but simply too weak to make something happen. But yeah, Nero wins that one-on-one, takes eyes away from the front of the hard point. You get the close spawn, but it doesn't matter. You get in pretty quickly if you're a breach, and that is a thing of beauty. So props to Nero on that sequence, but it's Illy through the double, Shotzzy to follow it up, cleared out of the hard point. Just 10 seconds left to go, but can you turn these kills into something now? Because, you know, I heard the crowd last time we watched Bocage, there were times Texas, they're going nuts. It's 10 kills in a row. I see Texas get 1 point over that stretch.
Yeah, someone needs to get the hill a little bit more. Honestly, it's been a thing all year. Just play around an objective. Obviously, they're all so talented, but Vivid right now popping off 11 and 5 on the other side. We were on board with Nero when he wins that one against Scump. Scump 2 and 10. But we're still so early into the game, we know that he can turn around at any moment.
He is one player that we've said this about for years. He will have a start like this. You just know he's going to erupt at some point and bring it back. He's done it throughout the course of his career. Expect him to come alive at some point. But it was Vivid. That was 5 in a row before he finally dropped. Still a 30-point advantage is TJ. TJ, 3 through in the kill feed as he's wiping out everybody on the OpTic Texas side. Finally, Scump able to do it. Now at 3 and 11, can he get going? Vivid not going to give him a chance right now.
And this is the thing with this Boston team. I mean, 14-6, now 15-6. He's doing it with the auto. He's doing it with the MP40. And while they are up 40 points, as we're going to rotate over to P4, but look at Shotzzy. He's in a good spot right now. Methodz trying to hunt him down. Not going to be an easy one-on-one. The timings do not go Methodz' way. They go the way of Shotzzy. He is just a couple of steps behind him. Shotzy's going to find a kill. His teammates are going to get 2 more. Methodz now trying to give his team spawns, trying to reinforce back into position.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're like, Methodz, a teammate. Do you not see him? It's just, no, my bad. Awkward timing. As a flurry of headshots come through for Dashy. Let me Nero from the top rope. Up high he goes, and not enough health to get the third, but Methodz through on the trade to make sure 3 will get wiped off the board for Texas. Methodz continues to hold the angle, now up to double positive, and it's just sort of been this 30-point or so lead. They've held that, but that's not enough.
No, this is good trap time as well. You're going to have one more player try to push it. That's going to be Scump. He will get taken down on the rotation. Illy, he's already pushed up lower side. We're going to have Scump spawn up back tanks, but Vivid is just not losing one-on-ones right now. 16-10, leading the way for Boston. We keep our eyes on him. But yeah, Methodz is just hanging out, 8-5. They have the lead, but a nice setup here for OpTic. You're going to have Nero working through the back. Scump's going to spot that, give call-outs to his team, but the push is coming through the front.
Well, one thing I kind of want to keep an eye on is, Vivid had the hot start. He goes like 1-5 after that. Scump, we know, started very slow. Does he pick it up? Does Vivid slow down? That might be a key thing throughout the course of this, but for now, we'll watch Methodz POV, and he's shooting lasers, but it's Illy that's able to take the top off of his head.
Well, this is the same as P2. I mean, you have the spawns if you are OpTic, but Boston, they do a very good job of just keeping them off the hill. They're not necessarily getting time, but they're keeping the lead, keeping OpTic off of the objective, picking them apart with these autos, and they're going to find all the kills. In the back now, you have a bit of a trap here. It's TJ was on 5 in a row. Nero, it's his turn to step on up, but this is a great job by the breach.
Yeah, what do you do with spawns, but more importantly, what do you do without them sometimes? Like, what kind of mess can you make it? And that's a terrific job. And a couple of key hard points from Breach just to get it sloppy and get them out of the point is we're going POV to POV to POV, which is the case with Bokosh more often than not, just trying to give you the best of the action that we can. Now to Shotzzy, we will go. Him and Scump, they combo to take out 3, almost 4. Methodz probably 1 bullet, and there's Scump through.
I was to say, he's on 5 in a row. We talked about at some point he's going to turn it around. He always does. Just feels like the map wins the first half. I don't know, the last couple of years just feels, it takes a moment for him to get into it.
It's just hardpoint in general. Like map 1, map 4.
Yeah,
like,
he just gets put into the blender.
He just starts slow, and then he gets in a groove. Still, right around the 30 to 40 point advantage that they've enjoyed throughout most of the game. When can you potentially turn that into more? It's TJ just sitting inside, so got time.
All day.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't need to shoot his gun, doesn't need to do anything, just pick up the time. Tough gunfight there on the stairwell that Dashy will be the winner on.
Well, okay, so what? First rotation, P2 and P5. OpTic, they had the rotation, just not a ton of time. Another opportunity here. You're going to have Dashy set up. You're going to have Scump in the hill. A lot of mid-map control going their way. Now, can they turn it into a big chunk? Can they get themselves back into this game, potentially tying it up or taking the lead? So far, so good for OpTic.
I think you nail it, OpTic. They've had some good setups. You need to turn that into objective time. A lot of times, it's the comms that's important, or is it the gunny? Let's get to a listen in with OpTic Texas.
How many time, guys? How many time? They're close. He's on the back. Big door apps with Nero.
Hear that?
Get back to barrels and one's on time. Barrels and one's on time.
What's got 1 HP. One's 3 barrels, 1 shot also. Okay, big door side time.
One guy's top barn as well. Get this trap. I got that trap. Cut the barn.
P2 dead.
Well, let's top barn. Almost top barn.
Yeah, we got top barn. Okay. I'm challenging your gun.
I'm in kitchen. I'm playing my kitchen.
He's laying down my pot. Literally laying down my pot.
I'll see you on right.
Trying to search.
Yeah, he's dead. I'm front house right now.
That's shit. Let's go.
I'm on siege. I'm here. I'm hitting time.
Guys, Castle, you guys are here.
I'm ironing. I'm on siege, dead. Back on the I'm flying away.
It's on time.
Out of listening, and what do you know? Scump, what do you say? I'll get back to even at some point, 21 and 21.
Yeah. We're good storytellers. That's what I'd say.
I've seen it for a decade of casting, basically, at this point. He has come alive. You're still down 30, but you needed that without question. And looking a little bit more humid, Vivid on the other side. I'm still having a map, don't get me wrong, but there's been a flip.
Yeah, but the whole time they've kept this lead. That lead, 30 to 40 points, has not gone away. You're gonna have one more push for OpTic. As Shotzzy, he's gonna go on the rotation. You're gonna have a big one-on-one. Methodz is gonna read it. Nice read from him. Inside the hill, Vivid, he continues. 29 kills now for Vivid as he leads the lobby. Nero knows there's being spawning in the back. Nero going for the second, but they are set up for P4. A chance here for Boston now to, put this one within reach of winning. You have a 50-point lead. You have the spawns for P4. This could be the game for OpTic. They need a break right now.
Teams have got better and better at locking this down. Can you get the crucial break? A pick comes behind Dashy. Are they able to follow it up? Now Shotzzy into the point, but it's Methodz through on the flank. He's going to take down 4 in a row. It's Scump that's able to pick up that trade. Scump with another as the king comes alive, making his presence known on the map, and now into the point they go. So the rally you thought maybe coming from Breach, it's now OpTic's turn to hit another gear.
Yeah, needed the break and they got it. Behind Scump, behind Illy now. 27 kills for Scump. He continues to try to hunt inside of P4. But the lead has not changed. And well, Boston, they're going to get a clean 4 dead. They're going to fly. They're going to try to flip spawns for P5. Spawns come in for OpTic. They're going to have a chance to have a setup. But Vivid, he's just kind of lurking right here. This is what they've done so well. Just keeping them off that objective. They can have the spawns all they want, but OpTic has to get the time.
See if he can make a play.
Oh, he's going to make one.
He's able to do it. I mean, Dashy, I think, gets the angle right after, so the autos will get through on the cross, and Dashy and Illy will go massive, but you make it messy again. It's not clean in the opening, and you nailed it. Nobody on the hard point. Finally now able to rally in is we're going on the hunt. It's Shotzzy. That's able to chase him down.
That's a big
It's just, can you overcome this lead that's been through the entire game? Can you get over the hump?
It's a big story. Shotzzy at 17 and 29. If you're going to play maps like Bocage, maps like Tuscan, he needs to have more of an impact for this team.
And you see the kills coming through, but again, just nobody in the point for now.
Time.
You spawn up, someone's able to rally over to the hard point, they'll hold their power spots and try to get the time. I think that 30-point advantage is what they have not got past. Are they able to do it now? It's a flurry of kills once again for OpTic. We set up at mid-map. To Scump's POV we go, and it's an awkward one.
And that's props to Boston Breach. That means their team needs are hitting. They're getting their ARs in a position where if they're trying to cross to the hill, they're not allowing that player to get to the objective. Like, even when OpTic have spawns, props to Boston, the way they're playing this map is so good. You can see in the top now, 25 seconds of the game clock. That is going to come in, and Vivid, he is just using his fists as he takes down another.
It's a multi-kill for Dashy. You'll see pop up in the mid, but it's the 20-second clock mid that is going to be more important. You're right at that 30-point advantage. The point you have not been able to overcome if you're OpTic. Now you're going to get past that point, but the play clock going to be so crucial. And this is the hard point. Yes, exactly. Play around it. Keep them out. Don't allow them to get set up inside. Now 10 seconds to go. You got to get back into the point, and Shotzzy is able to do that. Maybe the gun's not hitting. You see the shots off a bit, but can you get some time for your team? Look at the spawns, though. The battle upcoming. Number 2, Methodz set up deep.
Yeah, I mean, TJ, though, he was able to find the first, and that means there's nobody on the hill for right now. Methodz on that cross. He gets 2. This is what they've done. 2 seconds left. 1 second now. OpTic to have to be perfect. Boston just going to get out of the hill. Boston Breach win the Bocage.
And that, like, I mean, there are a couple things we can talk about. I mean, Vivid's monster map, Scump turning it around, but would you agree probably the single biggest thing is just when OpTic had their chances, Breach just kept them out of the objective?
Yeah, their AR setup, their positioning, whether it's Vivid and Methodz at P2, players like, Vivid just getting them off the hill at P5, those were the big moments for OpTic. They had the spawns, but props to the Boston Breach just right from the get-go. Everyone contributing to this map 1 win.
And like those moments where they clear them out makes it even more important, because maybe, you hear the crowd getting into it. You see OpTic starting to come alive, making some high-pressure plays down the stretch, but the play clock. And why is the play clock that low? Because there's a lot of time where no one's in the hard point.
Yeah, I mean, the big story here, though, just kind of comes down to vetoes. The auto kind of Berlin hardpoint veto that OpTic is having right now that they're not playing allows Bocage into the series, right? We saw the vetoes come in. Boston, they don't want to play OpTic on Kavutu, right? So they're going to play their Bocage. If this is a Berlin Tuscan, maybe you feel a little bit better, but that Berlin hardpoint, I don't know what's going on in practice, where they're struggling with that, but we go end of the year, that map pool is such a big talking point.
And I mean, we're going. I said something earlier this year where I said, you know, I think Simp is one of the most talented players I've ever casted, if not the most. And a lot of the replies were about Shotzzy because at the beginning of the year, you know, he was absolutely lights out. Now he's been struggling a bit. And do you think, is this just a thing where he was seeing so much success and he was being glorified so much that it's almost like he's just, is it? Who do we talk about a lot? Maybe like an envoy or something. He's just trying to make plays too often, or like trying to
maybe trying to do a little bit too much on the map, right?
And it's just leading to situations that aren't great for him.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like, his play style is one of those where he's trying to find the routes, trying to find the flanks, and I think teams are just able to read it early on in the game. He was just doing ridiculous things, but he could bounce back. Talking about Tuscan, it just feels like early in the year, that's all we talked about was Shotzzy and Dashy on Tuscan.
Well, you know, you talk about that major sports, whether it's like a rookie coming in the NBA or like a quarterback comes in, and it's like teams start to scheme for them, right? I guess that in a way, like a little bit like resets with COD every year, just because you know the player tendencies, but it's like new maps, right? A new game. I'm sure you sort of, as the year goes on, you get better at sort of picking up those tendencies and dealing with players.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously the teams nowadays, as soon as you win that major one, all right, what was OpTic doing, right?
Yeah,
what were they doing? How do we neutralize them? What adjustments do we have to make? Everyone's got a coaching staff. Everyone's doing VOD. This is just what happens with the game as the year goes on.
Well, I mean, there have been a couple periods throughout the course of Call of Duty history with the dynasties where a team has been the best at the beginning and the best at the end, but that's not usually how it goes. It's somebody is the best out the gate, they learn the game a little bit quicker, or their raw talent kind of gets them through, and then it's sort of who learns a bit faster or who figures something out towards the end of a title.
Yeah, and make adjustments, or, I mean, it was the big thing with Atlanta FaZe last year was map pool. I mean, that to me is just one of those things with this team right now. When you have that Berlin hardpoint that you're not going to play, it's just going to be the storyline.
Yeah, I think map pool, I mean, we talk about it from the beginning of the year in the veto process, but I think it's becoming far more obvious right now because you think about the sheer amount of Game 5s. I know that's not the single biggest thing. Well, actually, probably is.
There's been some questionable vetoes this weekend. Yeah, this week there definitely has.
Yeah, but like, you know, I feel like the Game 5 speaks to like teams getting more comfortable with that, and you know, you're getting your maps here, they're getting their maps there, you're going the distance to a lot of these series, and it's a big part of it, or it's just a magic. I don't know.
Well, then that's when you talk about that control. And you know, one of the keys to victory for OpTic was they're 1-3 on touch and control their last 4 throughout this stage. When we have that map 3, that's going to be a huge focal point for them. But I will say, with the addition of Shotzzy and Ellie to this roster, what has been fantastic, the search and destroy, right? There was the tweet from Clay last night about how Shotzzy and Ellie, their mid-game calls, their mid-game adjustments, it's what you've missed from Ellie the last couple of stages. You're so happy to have him back for these big games in search.
It reminds me of, it's not the same thing, but like when TJ and Dashy first came on that OpTic team, just kind of revitalized them as a search and destroy roster. It's like you get some players in here that you know are solid those modes. You know they put in a lot more time than your average player. They just love to grind. They do. Can they make the impact? His fist bumps are out, trying to dial it in. And this is where maybe the win you got earlier this week is like, you bring it back at a 4 and 5. You're used to going down in series. You believe in each other.
Yeah, 100%. It's one map. Let's move on, right? That was their hard point.
Just shrug it off, right?
No, we lost by 15 points. It is what it is.
Yeah, yep. The crowd trying to inject energy into this squad to come alive now in the search and destroy. Who's going to be the playmaker? Will it be Big Brucey? Don't know what accent that was. Or Shotzzy and Illy to make the plays. The king will dominate the map, but right into it we go. It's a quick shoulder, a couple shots out from Dashy. Gets a spot of information, but it is Shotzzy. This map at times when he is in a groove, it is his wonderland. Can he find success in a big map too?
You know, it's a lot about that mid-map control, and then Vivid, he just opens the window. Shotzzy's there, and now OpTic immediately over to B. Thought the nade maybe was going to get some damage in, but that's going to be Shotzzy with the bomb. Him and Scump are all the way pushed up in this 4-on-3.
That's going to be a stun deep that'll get some information on TJ's playing. Way back with the snipe. That'll be bomb now planted. You got to retake this in the 3-on-4. Make it 2-on-4. It's Dashy with the angle. Now TJ
They don't know he has this yet.
With the snipe.
I don't think he's shot yet, but I mean, retakes with the sniper are so difficult, right? Just pushes like this. But there we go, hit marker comes in, Shotzzy's able to find a second. I mean, he is all by his lonesome. The bomb is down. Yeah, good luck, Mr. TJ. Your old teammate's gonna take you down.
Yeah, I think Scump took one right to the big toe as he was leaping over, but...
You don't need it, he doesn't need it.
No. Well, that might be the one you do need. I'm not a foot expert, but...
Okay.
Your balance, dude. Some toe you need, I think.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a doctor. Bring those toes over here.
No.
3 for Shotzzy in the round, and that's got to be a great feeling for him and the fans in attendance for this team. As mostly bodied in the map 1, could not get anything going. But you come out strong in that opening round.
Yeah, similar on both sides, right? A lot of mid-map control for the defensive team. It looks like you're going over towards B for Boston Breach. They're just kind of hanging out in P5, trying to see what they can, get fountain control, try to work these angles. What we've seen from a lot of defensive teams is kind of working that middle alley, getting someone pushed up. Maybe just trying to find that player. Scump just hanging out. 30 seconds already off the round. Illy's going to find some info. He's going to find more than that. The wall base hit on the Vivid.
Another key first blood. Now don't give them an easy equalizer. TJ tagged up. He's going to back up quickly. That's going to be the equalizer, and then that's one of those tough ones where Scump is trying to shoot right between both players.
Well, he's trying to go get the trade. He's trying to get the trade, and unfortunately, he runs into 2 players. What was the man advantage is now going to be a round win for Boston Breach, and that's one of those plays where, I don't know, maybe Scump doesn't have to leave that position, right? But Shotzzy gets taken down, and I think Scump's just like, all right, I'm going to go trade this because you made him weak. He gets the call, and he's weak.
And I think it's sort of like I said, like, don't give them a free equalizer. Like, how many times you get that clean first blood, and then somebody gets picked, you turn into a 3 versus 3. It's like you almost feel more pressure. Like, I got to get this trade, otherwise we throw away the first blood type thing. And he flies around. Unfortunately, 2 players there to greet him, and we all know that one gets a little wonky with aim assist. So when you got 2 players in front of you, you're trying to split between both. Same kind of peak from Dashy mid-map to get going. Scump is maybe in trouble, but looks like he gets down for now over by P5. And he'll just kind of tuck away. If some help is coming, he's got Dashy on the other side of it.
That's still mid-map control over to Boston. The reason they can play like this is because you do have Nero inside of P5. Nero, he's going to get taken down. Shotzzy with the first blood on offense again, TJ. The snipe just not hitting right now. You still have Methodz in the map, just waiting for the plan.
Think about that from Vivid's POV. He's like, thinks he has a free when he saw it there. Bounces around and Nate is to greet him, but now they're bringing this back. It's suddenly into a 2 versus 2, and once again, it's Scump on the hunt for the trade, and that is not an easy fight. That was a bit sketchier than I think he thought it was going to be, but he finally does get there. Now to a 1 versus 1. Scump, TJ, Scump gets in behind, and Scump will get the round victory to Texas to go up 2-1.
I mean, nice shots from TJ on Illy and Dashy, but I mean, he's weak, and well, Scump's playing with confidence right now. He gets the call out, those players are weak, he's gonna take that fight.
Dude, that was another one where I was like, it just took a little too long to get there for the trade. He got back to that heady, I'm like, oh God, not again, but.
Especially with the auto, right? Scump's got the MP40.
Yeah.
But we weren't sure how much damage was done to Methodz.
Looked like he had like a bullet or 2, so weak enough, I guess.
But another first blood to Shotzzy leads to another offensive round win for OpTic. A little bit of a slower round here from the defensive team, but they're just going to take A side. They're not going to take mid-map away from that middle church, but Shotzzy, 3rd first blood of the game.
3rd first blood for Shotzzy, and I think that's all 4 for OpTic. They have dominated the early round. You let one slip away. Ham it up and close it out. Shotzzy is just river dancing out mid-map. Methodz sees him for a moment. He's a blur and he's gone.
And this is just what Dashy does. He's just jumping around.
I'm a kangaroo!
As Illy finds another one. Just throwing shoulders. He knows how difficult it is to take him down, but Nero does get pushed up.
Methodz now 400 damage in the round. Unfortunately, no kills.
Well, look at that. Look at that. I mean, just the repositioning from Shotzzy to watch top church. Scump's gonna get taken down. Now with the man advantage. OpTic's gonna have to retake over at B.
Shotzzy, a key one again, out to triple positive. Now just have to hunt down Methodz. Does Methodz have a clutch in him? What kind of timing is he gonna find? But the ducks fly together. You'll see all 3. They're grouped up on the retake. On it now, able to get the kill and back away.
He's on MP40, but look at this iLLeY, very quick on that flank. Dashy has to wait for his duo, has to wait for iLLeY. There's going to be the kill. Nice teamwork out of OpTic, just taking their time, playing patient.
Yeah, I mean, solid job for Methodz. You play the clock well, you get the first one bomb, you take no damage.
Well, he had an MP40, he had an auto, he had everything he needed.
Yeah, but then it's just sort of a guessing game. Like, how are they going to play this? Am I going to get double chopped from the front? Is someone going to go long on the flank? But they get there in time, and I bet you those senses were probably starting to tingle, or he was probably going to check that in the moment, but fact is, iLLeY hits it quick, like you said.
Well, and I mean, just to take the time for iLLeY to take that long route, because even, 15 seconds left, he's worried maybe Methodz is going to, rotate back to him, doesn't want to get caught into a 50-50, sort of takes his time. He's able to find it. We talked about Vivid and Nero, what they bring in aggression, but struggling right now, 1-7. Vivid, yet to find a kill.
Yeah, it's like the opposite, right? Vivid has that monster map 1 kick it going here. Shotzzy gets bodied map 1, and he's had a great one. Ripped out of this one, though, but you still have advantage right now. And Scump to 5-2 he goes. Some big wins there mid-map. TJ now on an island, 1 versus 3 minutes to go. And TJ has some heroic efforts. Some clutches in his career, but not right now. Texas continues to roll in search, now up 4-1.
Now it's adjustment time for Boston on both offense and defense. Nothing really working for them. The early aggression for OpTic has just been a little bit too much. The nades have been there, the early gunfights. Maybe, you're going to an offensive round now, you try to slow things down. Maybe you just try to work that A site. But everything they've been throwing at him, nothing's been working.
Yeah, it's like, do you change something if you're Boston? Do you stick to the game plan, just execute better? Let's see what they have to do.
I'd try to slow it down a little bit if I was them, right? These rounds have been decided early from the first bloods. And it looks like it's going to be that. Just kind of spread out, and TJ, he's going to respond with 1.
Just play behind the pick. And a much-needed first blood, because they have not enjoyed many, but it's iLLeY who's got this 4th streak. And he's trying to hunt forward. Scump is hit down to 6th, and the stun connects, and he just gets dropped. I think your call for them to play slow. Turns out you played this, competed in Call of Duty quite a bit at one point. It makes sense, Joe. Good stuff.
I mean, listen, when you're losing multiple rounds in a row, it just feels like the game is going really, really fast, right? I mean, he goes from 1-1 to 4-1. You're just kind of looking over like, all right, we got to do something different. And on defense, you can't really, you have to react, right? You can't really slow the game down.
The offense dictates the tempo.
Yeah, that is your pace. And, they find that first blood, it turns into, TJ finding multiple and them getting on the board. Because the way OpTic plays this, very quick, right? As soon as they know there's some presence one way, they're usually rotating around the map.
Yeah, now maybe you have OpTic guessing a little bit how they're going to go into the next offense.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yes. We're still going to hit it. Scump once again starting to work up towards this B5 Nero. I think the closest person playing deep. I think he just puts some shots in, gets a couple hit markers, stun, able to connect, so that'll slow them down for now. There is a flurry of nades coming in. He hits his as well.
Shotzzy gets through.
Everybody tagged up a bit, but Shotzzy with another first blood. The early round Reaper has been on one, and the quick reaction there to back down. Corner to corner, can't dance with death forever. Finally, taken out to a 3v3 we go. You got B-side control.
Yeah, what does OpTic want to do, right? Methodz is kind of waiting. The bomb's going to be planted forward, defensive side. Or is it? No, it's not going to be planted for the defense. So they're going to have to play this from the flat side, even though you have 2 players in Dashy and Scump all the way in the back. But who's this going to start with? You need TJ to get in Vivid to get in a position. Here comes the fight.
And Vivid there with a big one. Beautiful headshots onto Dashy, rips him off the map.
They're just worried. They know the way they like to play this map, right? You're worried about the flanks. iLLeY though on plat stairs. Nobody checks it. Nobody clears it. He reads Vivid as well. Just a 1-on-2. 15 seconds left for TJ. 1-on-1. iLLeY goes for the chow. Now he's going to play his life. There's no time on the clock. iLLeY with the clutch, and I think now 1 round away from tying up the series.
Yeah, you miss iLLeY for moments like that. The 2 teammates playing deep. He's up close and personal, and he makes the plays. Not just to get the 2 kills, but to get out of there. Make sure he didn't catch any pistol shots from TJ. And it's feeling like yesterday a bit, right? Like you have a tough hard point, but then
You roll in the search. So far, so good. 5-2, though. You got to close it out. I think it's Methodz always says that 5-2 is like that trap score line.
5-2, 5-3. Yeah, they can all be a little bit scary. Again, just kind of slow. You have two players watching middle alley in case there's any aggression. TJ, he's just seeing all the nades fly overhead. And okay, you allow the defense to get into spots, but now you can hit those nades. Illy was pretty weak, but not taken down. So now it's just all about the shots, all about the gunfights.
Yeah, the one connected well. I think it hit to like 47, but I didn't see where another one went. They weren't able to combo it. And it's Vivid just trying to get the angle.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Teamwork.
Oh, God, they just bait it perfectly, and Dashy makes him pay. TJ's on 5 in a row, but I'm not sure it matters. As the rest of the squad just gets lined up in mid.
We got to take a look at that again. I mean, after this, just between Shotzzy and Dashy, because they find all 3 kills. I mean, Shotzzy was about to get taken down.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Dashy was the guardian angel, 100%. Just protecting from above, and they'll get off 4 in this one. OpTic, they tie it up 1-1. With the dominant search, especially in the early going. I mean, I will see at the end how many first bloods it was, but truly dominant stuff in that regard.
Yeah, 100%, just right from the get-go, and you get Shotzzy going. Just feels like, right, that's their Tuscan map. That's what they like to do. They take mid-map control away from Boston time and time again. Just so much info gained. Boston just, yeah, too fat. I mean, down 1-4, just could not find any success. But
well, and that's been the question mark.
6-2? Yeah, 6-2, 4 for Shotzzy.
Yeah, it matches the scoreline. Shocking. But that, when we casted Breach, kind of we were talking about it a bit, right? Like, this is where they haven't really shown a lot since the team change. They need to work on the search and destroy, and OpTic, they punished them there. But can he get it to another map 5?
And then you have the 2 and 7 from Vivid, but also 4 first deaths. So, you know, we talk about him being that playmaker, the aggressor, but he was given nothing.
No. And I'm sure that's just one of those very frustrating searches. Like, whatever route you take, whatever opening you look for, you're just getting put in the dirt. It's you can't find a groove whatsoever because you're not playing. I mean, he's just spectating for most of that search, but as it stands, tied up 1-1. A crazy map 1. If you missed it, it comes down to what? I think 14 points between the teams goes to the play clock, and it was really Breach with an impeccable job of kind of clearing OpTic out of the point, letting that clock play down just without control. Just absolutely terrific. That on the other side, once we get to the search, OpTic, pristine effort. But now we start to look forward to control, and this is where you were kind of talking about, like, you were very good here if you were OpTic.
Yep.
Been some struggles as of late, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is, what, 1-3, 1-4 in their last couple of Tuscan controls where they were so dominant early on in the year. And then for Boston Breach, not one to shy away from. So they should be feeling confident going into this control. And all event long, this control has been a huge decisive game mode.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But we're tied up 1-1 as it stands. It's just the first match here of day 3 for the major. We've got some juggernaut matchups. Teams have been eliminated. Is NYSL going to be able to make the run? OpTic after the tough qualification stage. Can they come alive and show us something special we haven't seen really since that opening major? Will Zinni and the boys get it clicking here at a major? So much coming up after the quick break.
Multi-League is brought to you by Mountain Dew and Zenny. Armor your eyes with Blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Here we go. We continue on. Tied up 1-1. Breach. OpTic continue to do battle here at the NYSL Major. We're going to talk a bit about a matchup here against two juggernaut AR players. When you look at Methodz, when you look at Dashy, what they're capable of doing on the map. Obviously, different play style, but their stats crucial to the team.
Oh, 100%. Two juggernauts, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, both of them very crucial to their team. One, though, an MVP candidate. So, no, all right, we no longer have that, but it doesn't really matter because the game's loaned in, and that's all that really matters.
I'm a liar. That's okay, though. That's all right. As long as we're ready to get into the action. Commander Zenny talking to the troops.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, look at him. Do you think it's just my love for him and Italian food that has me, am I overgassing this? He's incredible.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore of Call of Duty.
I don't know if that's true.
Just to bring up the looks show, the mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's got the jawline of Brad Pitt.
Here we go. Boston 3-1 in stage 4.
Thanks for reeling me back in, Joe. I was losing it there.
3-1 on this map. We're OpTic 1-3. But can they get back into rhythm, back into routine, where this was their go-to control map? Here we go. Sometimes it's just all about winning an offensive round.
Sometimes, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you think about that FaZe one yesterday. It's the movement and the hops from Shotzzy as he gets tucked away in a corner. Now Scump is dealing with these difficult fights out in the field. Trying to catch one mid-map. He's able to do just that. Vivid does take down Shotzzy, though, from his position, so he's able to get that angle before Scump is through for the kill.
It's really just both teams just kind of waiting for one to make the next move. I mean, the nades do connect onto that player on A. That's going to be Scump, who gets taken down. So now Boston, they're going to play pretty aggressive defensively over towards this A zone. You're already going to have Methodz pushed up broken. Locking down their middle alley with Vivid. This is going to force them to have to go to B. And now Boston knows this, so it's all about mid-map and P5 control. TJ off of spawn. He's going to go all the way back to B, but OpTic, they know what they got to do.
Yeah, it was sort of like good luck, boys, in that 2v4. We're out. You just got to not give them the chance to get you fully trapped. They're able to get through on the cross.
That was almost a trick shot nade that hit.
You're right.
Definitely didn't mean for that to be on purpose, but that was almost sick.
Methodz nearly getting 2 off the site, but he does the damage onto the second, makes the follow-up kill easy, and so far Breach are making it look easy. You're up 5 lives. There hasn't been much of a threat. Yeah, there's not been a threat anywhere.
Just nice rotations from Breach, just back and forth, playing aggressive towards A. No off spawn with the roof spawns that come in. You gotta go right back to B. They don't allow OpTic to make any progression. Now they're gonna go for this. Why wouldn't you? It's Vivid, he's gonna be on 5 in a row, stepping it up from that game number 2. A couple of kills come in. They know there's only 13 seconds left on the clock, so they're gonna try to deal with this now. And they might just do that. This might be a perfect defensive round coming in.
I mean, you get 1 tick, I guess, but...
Yeah, I guess it's 1.
Yeah, about as close to perfect as it is going to get. My God, that is a wall just set up by Boston Breach. There were no opportunities, like just from the get-go. And, you know, a lot of times when we talk about really impressive stuff in control, it's like that offensive push, right? Like that's what really turns the game. But that's a round that can shift it just based on ticks. Like that was dominant.
That's a situation where some teams don't like to go for it. If there's a lot of offensive presence towards A, they just give it up. They just play over towards B.
There just never was.
They're gonna play for the 2 minutes, 2-minute defense at one zone. But they say, screw it, we're gonna keep rotating back and forth, even with the risk if they're gonna go to B. But they found all the kills they needed. Now Vivid, he wants to find a glide bomb.
Yeah, I just don't even think it was ever like a question. They just were never in a bad spot, like not one time throughout the round. But yeah, we'll see if he can get the glide. Not far off of it. Nero had some big kills at the tail end of that one, and he takes the gunny right into this. That'll be the first kill in the round. Another player there trying to follow it up. I think that was Scump looking for the angle as Dashy actually gets the kill defensively. Still all right. I can't imagine you're able to hold them to 1 point of progress.
You love a perfect response in the back. I mean, one take done today, but they got to hold it for a minute. That's going to be 3 dead. Now 2 players on it. Scump, though. Scump's behind enemy lines. Scump is behind, but Methodz able to read it.
It's like the second he cut to go right, he turned and spotted him. So you take an edge in the objective there off that second tick. Not that it took a whole lot, but they should be able to finish A. Now looking, hunting inside a church. Still have Scump inside. And now they kind of set up this defense. He pushes right out, and he's trying to flank this push. Make sure it gets staggered. I like that. Get the one, get away. You don't need both.
This is what they do so well, right? I mean,
slow it down.
Shotzzy, usually it's Shotzzy just kind of flanking those pushes by the offensive teams, able to read the map, knowing what they're trying to take. You still have TJ just kind of lurking by his lonesome, has to get to his team, but here comes a push for Boston towards flat side. One, gonna get taken down, make it a second as the autos finding the kills for OpTic.
Dashy, I think, legit had 1 health after that gunfight.
TJ still through.
Yeah, it's like, when is TJ gonna pounce? Is he gonna find?
He found a kill, but he's just waiting on his team. His team needs to get to him, or he needs to make a bigger play. He's gonna go for it through the spawn, and he's gonna find another one on a Scump. But, I mean, all his reinforcements are gone now. He gets taken down, man advantage to OpTic and Shotzzy. This is what he does so well. He's gonna find the last one. Vivid did snap, as he's 12 and 6, but Shotzzy on 3 in a row.
You still have a minute to hold. Ton of lives remaining still for Breach. You've got some ample opportunity here, but just with the time, a couple, maybe 2 4-man efforts really to try and push this, depending on what kind of setup you're going to go for. It's a big one from TJ in the back.
Nice opener.
Yeah, exactly. An opener to get the pinch through. Nero's in from the inside. The snapback is there, but Scump, his double, plays the equalizer around the objective. Methodz got the angle from up top, but you just haven't been able to get like a good 4-man push at this.
No, and again, TJ's the one lurking in the back. But it's about the one player. Usually Shotzzy or Scump still alive, trying to make a play. But this time, 3 are gonna be dead, but Shotzzy and Scump, they're able to take down 2. That neutralizes the situation a bit for Boston, but they're here, they're still alive as Nero and Methodz. The duo, a tick, about to come in at B.
And now it's everybody kind of off to the races to get back into this. The nades are gonna connect on the Methodz. There you get 3 off of the point, under 20 seconds to go. You regain control, but you do get 1 bit of progress, so you just kind of move the needle a little bit more towards Breach when you talk about the overall objective.
Still a chance, they can still go for this. It's 8 versus 8, there's time.
Take a shot. They have 3 players up now to deal with it. Down to 2 now after the gunfight went from Shotzzy, dwindles to 1. Time now gone. Texas answer with a hole, but it's just not nearly as efficient as Breach's in round 1.
Yeah, you know, a good job by OpTic. Even, you know, just knowing that, like, TJ's behind them, they did not allow Boston to get pushed to him. They did not allow that P5 area right outside of radio.
Yeah,
they didn't give that up.
They didn't seem too worried about it.
Right, it's just one. What, is he gonna cap the thing? No, just leave them.
Now, if they get smoked in the front, that becomes the problem, but they never did, right? They were able to stand tall, just kept the focus there. Terrific job, and TJ, I think the whole time is just like, do I go? Do I chill? Do I go? Do I chill? Like, wanting to get involved, but kind of having to bide his time. Good teammate through for Texas. 3 in a row for Shotzzy. Mantle it on up top. It's awkward, but he's able to snap. Hipfire will connect. Streak continues. There's number 5, Shotzzy. He's dancing around the map. The movement is there. The pistol is out, and Nero is down for the count. Oh! As Shotzzy just dancing around the map. Up to 14 and 10.
Really now locking things down. Vivid went for a retake over towards A. Him and Nero are gonna get cut. Now look at this already. You have 1 player pushed up at B. That's gonna be Illy. Has the help of Shotzzy. A lot of forward progress here for OpTic.
A little different than round 1, Joe.
Yeah, they go for that retake at A. It's a bit of a gamble, and this is what happens. You're down 6 lives as Boston. Things are gonna slow down, but you gotta hold this for 2 minutes. Not easy to do, especially with that life count coming in.
What's up, former duo? TJ pushes through for the kill. It's gonna be a long 2 minutes.
Shotzzy gets 2. Shotzzy gets 2 again on a pinch. He's just gonna pause the clock for now, why not?
I think any amount of time they can pause this just allows them to play around the lives. And I know it's gotten a little bit closer after that recent sequence, but you're still up 3. And this isn't all that different than the situation we casted yesterday, right? But it's a slide through for Scump. Like he was on a slip and slide, just rolling on through, hitting the shots.
Yeah, buns of steel down that staircase.
Ah, yeah, it's tight. Huh?
Nice.
Now aBeZy. The squad starts to push up. Shotzzy, Roman. There's one up top, able to snap. You have 3 here. It's been paused. Not through to the first bit of progress, but you still have so much time to work with. Minute 15 now, under double-digit lives. Just 9 to work with if you are Boston Breach. Slowly, through this battle of attrition, they're being bled out.
It's a sub again, though. It's Scump behind enemy lines. Him and Shotzzy are finding the openings for Breach, and they're the ones to open things up. A chance here now, up 5 lives. With a minute left, it's going to come down to a bit of a TDM here. Boston have to slow the game down, but they are just in... 3 of them are in Church Alley right now.
It's like you almost need to do what you did in the hard point, like keep them off the point, let the time go down.
They're just not winning their ones. Yeah, that's the difference. They are not winning their one-on-ones because Scump and Shotzzy are here, and they are uppercutting them in the face.
20 on the board now for Shotzzy. There's a little slide cancel to the forehead as Scump comes around the edge. Another one-on-one win. Zenny trying to be the difference, and they will get 3 through, but it's just going to be 2 lives. It's all going to be on Vivid and Methodz to try and take it down. Now 20 seconds to go. What kind of effort do they have? aBeZy makes it even tougher. All on Vivid through the top rope and into the dirt. Texas now eliminate that. I mean, it was a brutal round 1, right? You got nothing going on offense. You wipe that slate clean.
Now the pressure on Boston to have to win an offense of their own. But to me right there, that was just like prime OpTic with what we saw earlier in the year throughout stage 1 and other times throughout the year. But you're playing your life in power positions around B on attack, allowing Scump and Shotzzy to find the openings, to cause chaos. You're pausing the clock. It doesn't come down to the objective. It comes down to the life count. They're able to win it.
What a massive round. That could end up being... It's a flurry of people forward. And you go 2 for 1 towards B. So the spawners coming up from OpTic Texas. That's right where they're going to be heading. That'll allow TJ to kind of set up
He's just tent on A right now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He wants his teammates to roam and find kills. Basically do what OpTic did. Drain the life count down so much where the 2 minutes that come into play give them that advantage. But his teammates get taken down. You have aBeZy all the way pushed up with Shotzzy. They're going to probably give up A. Looks like Shotzzy might be able to push. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about making a play. You see the green arrows kind of turning around. Does Shotzzy find that one player?
Keep an eye on the top of it. Here we'll hop to his POV. He just doesn't see him tucked away. So an opening for a moment here for Boston Breach. That'll be A done. 2:10 to go. No quick transition, though, on to B. Now you get set up defensively in your spots if you are Texas. Vivid trying to roam. Not roaming anymore, because, of course, it is Shotzzy, the roam king. That is able to put him down. It's a flurry of gunfights, though. As we get towards this objective, TJ tries to get around the edge, but aBeZy wisely going to back up. Just hold that L trigger.
That was just such a big kill. You do have Vivid trying to work around. You have Methodz trying to stay alive radio side. But they just get taken care of. They get cleaned up. Vivid's behind enemy lines. TJ, though, in P5. They're just going to leave that player again. You control P5. You control this attack. And that's what's going on. They know there's a player behind them. Screw it.
I'm just kind of curious if Vivid tries to, I don't know, maybe do something TJ didn't, like get a little bit more aggressive play. Maybe more for a pick.
They're trying to hunt him down. They're trying to hunt him down.
This time it looks like they are looking to deal with them, and they're able to do it. Like right as Vivid reacts. Already there for the angle, so the backside of the push has been snuffed out. A minute to go. 16-16 in lives. We slow down for a moment as everyone takes a breath and looks for the next push for Breach. Where's the kill gonna come from? You get one on the other side of it. Scump traded out quickly. Nero, 4 HP. I didn't think he was getting another. He's on 4 health, but he's able to take down one. TJ's still there, but it's Shotzzy again, who after a bad map 1 has just been terrific.
And again, it's one of those multi-kills from the subs of OpTic. They don't allow a play to develop for Boston Breach. Well, it's only 11 versus 13. The big problem here for Boston is just the clock. It's the clock right now. You have 2 players trying to push the pinch. That's going to be Methodz through P5. Comes TJ and Nero. Scump, he's going to be the next man up. Just trying to stay alive, and he does.
It's likely it as far as pushes go. You need to get a nice sequence here. Pick up a couple of kills in a row. They're able to get 2, but there always seems to be an answer. It's a double though for Methodz. Last guy, mid-alley. It's going to be Dashy. The chow is on point. Methodz able to win it, but he can't quite get away with his life as the spawn is coming in close. Now 8 seconds left to go. Vivid letting it rip. The last guy here just trying to pause the clock, but it's a teardrop there from Dashy that's able to rip him off the map. You've got a shot. You've got a shot. The bullets are hitting. The nades, what are they coming in? Here's now Scump. He's working around the flank. More to go. They're lining up in front. There's the nade that's able to hit. 2 on the clock. Nobody close. OpTic with the map 3 win. They won an offense.
And I think what OpTic does so well on those defensive rounds, even when it gets close, I guess I would call like crisis management, right? You know, they don't allow a Boston player to stay alive, pause the clock. There's a 2-piece that comes in from Shotzzy. Then at the end, they don't panic. Scump's able to find the route. The nades hit. It's just those, the comms have to be so good in that moment because the life count's there, right? 6 versus 5. There's only a couple of seconds left, but they wait for one another.
I mean, you just need to not completely blunder your nades, not somehow miss a... I mean, the callouts are relatively simple in that situation because they're usually around the objective, but not to blunder something or lose a player where you get 2 or 3 piece. But yeah, that's just not panicking, handling business. I mean, there were some shots there for Breach.
You saw that scoreboard, just a balanced effort across what was such a dominant round number 1.
I mean, that was one of the more impressive defenses you're going to see. I mean, you barely touched the objective that time. And to think that they've then come, improve on it, and win an offense, that's pretty impressive.
And then it's just sort of these plays in this offensive round. It's Scump, it's Shotzzy putting the pressure on. You're allowing a player to get on the objective, pausing the clock. Illy staying alive, Dashy getting newest spots. That's what OpTic does so well, baiting the nades out, and well, they win. Behind the slice?
Yeah, I mean, was it just kind of their roaming subs that were the difference? It just felt like, you know, whether you'd see Vivid in that spot or TJ in that spot or whoever it was that might get him behind. I guess more Nero. TJ was kind of posted up at the back of an auto, but they got more value when they got in behind enemy lines and found those openings. They won a gunfight, maybe 2.
And you know, a lot of that is on the ARs, though, to not get naded. Because as soon as those power positions open up,
let's put a trophy down, Joe.
In radio, I mean, you can just leave those players in the back. It doesn't matter. So those guys staying alive, keeping the pressure on, it doesn't allow players off spawn just to throw nades. They can get spawn killed. Just beautiful teamwork from OpTic.
So after the gut-wrenching map 1 loss, one that goes right down to the clock, it's a convincing map 2 win. I mean, it's a tight Tuscan. I know it doesn't go to the 5th and final round, but there are some incredible rounds there from Breach, and they had shots to get it to the final one. They don't, but you bounce back, you get the dubs. Now talk to me a little bit about Tuscan Hardpoint.
Well, I mean, for, you know, both of these teams, for Boston, it's sort of, do we play Gav or do we play Tuscan? That's sort of the decision. And I think, you know, earlier in the tournament, they had that choice as well versus Florida. They let Gav go through, and they lose that, right? That did not go well. They have that same discussion. What map do we want to play OpTic on? It's going to be Tuscan Hardpoint, which I think is probably the better call with the roster they currently have.
I mean, it feels like they're like the opposite of Florida, when like Florida, it feels like they have like 3 natural ARs. Like they are one of the few teams that has like kind of 3 natural subs.
Well, and OpTic as well have been so good on Gav throughout the year, right? I mean, Simp can pull out that 3rd auto. Seeing Shotzzy do it. Shotzzy can be so impactful with that MP40. So it's just, again, sort of the veto decision, the map pool that comes into play.
I mean, either can be tough, obviously, but you like the Tuscan.
Yeah, I think I'd like probably prefer that. But here's the thing for Boston Breach. They have not played an official Tuscan Hardpoint with this roster. They're out stage 4. They are 0-0. So this is going to be brand new for them. Obviously, they've practiced a lot.
Yeah.
I guess the one good thing for them, I mean, they're shooting pretty darn well, right? The slaying wasn't anything crazy in that map 3.
We see Susano popping up on Twitter. Shotzzy, Scump duo going crazy with the routes. Yeah, I mean, they were finding the openings. They were taking the routes just to give themselves one-on-ones or just shooting people in the back. And that's what you kind of nailed. And I think we talked about it with FaZe a little bit yesterday. Like when the ARs are in good spots and they are holding it, it gives you the freedom to roam. And when you have that freedom and you don't think a bad death is going to penalize you, you can take some risk, you can take some gambles. And sometimes those lead to just resetting them over and over and over again where they can't get a good push.
It's the idea too of just like playing your life, staying alive. You know, that's what they were so good at in stage 1 was playing their life. Everyone was trying to mimic that gameplay, especially well, it did come to just the life count wasn't around the ticks, but even more so, you still see it in their gameplay.
Oh, this theater, this crowd, this has been brilliant. Oh, look at the smile on. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, you're on camera, big guy. How you doing? Oh, we're still dabbing? I like it. I think I'm too old to dab, but that was sensational stuff.
Oh, that guy was jacked, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, he would just throw me through something that would break me. It just
somebody
crunch
fly
my
to
bones.
champs, dude. Hey, mate, fly that guy to champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna fly him to champs?
Me? No. I'm part-time now.
Yeah, me too. Sorry. Someone else will get you, though.
Miles? All right, let's get focused. On the hard point is OpTic. Look to seal the deal and continue through this loser's run. No, it was not the start they wanted at this major to start the loser's bracket, but they continue on. They continue to fight. But Breach, you got to bring it back if you're going to get this to a 5th and final map. Will TJ be the hero? Who is going to step it up? It's Nero's nades that just line him up. I think another player weak is TJ puts in a couple bullets, and that's all 4 quickly off the map and right into the hard point. Go Boston Breach.
Yeah, you gotta have this decision when you're spawning on that side of the map. Do you just want to go through, you know, through the hillside? Do you want to take the middle of the map away? It's just kind of 50-50 depending on the call. But they try to all push through the ruined side. The nades on point for Boston is the first 25 seconds or so going to go their way.
Yeah, you know, you're trying to retake this. A lot of times you want to retake from mid, but off the break, it's just sort of a... Hopefully I can dodge these nades. Maybe they miss one. But they're on point. With Nero already out to 4 kills behind the big start. Make that number 5. As they get set up for the next hard point, it's Dashy playing deep, who's able to locate Nero, who's trying to push through, but that's a 45-0 scoreline after the first hard point. So that is a very successful start if you are Breach. Now, can they do what they did so well in the map 1? Very different map, but can you make it scrappy? When OpTic is set up, can you get them out of the hard point and make them make difficult decisions around the objective?
Yeah, it's a little bit different on Tuscan than
Yes, 100%.
But yeah, that was the big thing. They are making it messy right now, but Method's the last one alive. That's going to be all dead. Scump finds 2, just going to get on the hill, but now the nades. Can the nades connect off a spawn? Not yet. And Shotzzy's like, I'm out.
I think it's like, you know, we've always talked about that ability to get people out of the point when you're coming from like the bad side or bad spawn.
He's still fights.
He's
literally across the map.
Going nuts right now around the point.
He's on the other side of the map now. You never know where he's going to be.
But it's even more a thing now just because the no trophies, right? Like you have way more abilities. Get people out of the objective. Like you know where people are going to be set up.
Yeah, so you got to keep switching up your spot when you're on that objective. But talked about 45 points. Look at that, 53, a perfect hold for OpTic FT2.
That's one way to answer back.
Yeah, back and forth battle though. Nero 9-5. Heck of a start for him. Make it 10. Ooh, over at B3, the first 10 seconds go the way of Boston. This has just been a battle so far.
Yeah, heavyweight fight, just trading blows. That did not look like fun from Scump's POV. He didn't deal with him kind of hopping in, but hit down to 4 health and trying to hold the back side of it. But Vivid Nero, they're going to surge forward. That's going to be everybody cleared off the point. Really just one remaining there will be Scump. So where it was a trading of long successful holds, now Boston able to get a break and get in and split the time.
It is a little bit different because usually we see breaks. We see breaks here on this P3, so heck of a job done by Boston, but OpTic, they fight right on back. Now it's a rotation over to P4, church side. So we're gonna have Methodz and Nero set up, and Vivid, he's just gonna be hanging out, dealing with the rotation for OpTic off his spawn.
Well, that's when the spawn change came in, you spawned so close there, right? You're just able to rally right back in, sick. 7 points now between the teams. As bullets soaring everywhere. We go to Scump now in church. Nice little bunny hop movement on point for the second child there too quickly to get recentered. Now Shotzzy's turn. He likes to dance inside of church. At 9-11, he has had such a resurgence after that map 1. Can he find his groove again? Methodz trying to make sure that is not the case. Now up to a 20-point advantage as Boston Breach trying to build this back up with 30 remaining on the hard point. This has been a solid hold inside.
And this is when you need TJ to come alive as well. I mean, Vivid and Nero, it's such a fun duo to watch. I'm just they can take over a game, and they're doing it here. But we know when you're playing one of the best teams in the world, you need all 4 players on point. TJ, he's got a minute 11 in the hill. So they got a nice hold there at P4, but it comes to this P5 area where the rotation controlled for OpTic.
Yeah, you'd like the kills to get up a bit, but yeah, he's soaking up
I'm just saying, at some point, it could come to that.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Now, to the madness. Inside the P5 is everyone trying to look for an opening. TJ, can he find some success? Is that a teammate? Is that an enemy? I've got no idea. I'm just shooting in front of me, trying to hit everything through walls. As Vivid repositions for a second, he's got a teammate here to work with. He finds the angle onto Dashy. Likely needs one more bullet. Back in we go, but it's a double chow there from Shotzzy and Scump, but Methodz, he is ready for it. Still down 20, a double from iLLeY. Not going to change much around the actual hardpoint for now.
Yeah, they're just always finding the kills, Boston. I don't know where iLLeY was like top broken, then drops bottom fountain to find the double on the rotation. Nero, beautiful shots onto iLLeY, but Shotzzy is there over at P1. So it's gonna be a 30-point lead throughout this first rotation. A lot of points on the board for both teams.
Boston Breach battling for their tournament lives, desperately trying to get this to a map 5. Let's hear the comms. So listen in. We go.
Yep. I'm gonna try to go mid. Nice. Come in. He's our side, close left. I needed it.
I need their side you.
I need their side you as well.
Let's go.
Nice. Our side dead.
He's not their side you, not their side you.
Our side you. There's two their side you. We're going mid alley, bro. Yep, one's gonna go mid alley.
Nade time.
I need no time.
Nade outer. He's bottom church, top church.
He's close outside, I'm pretty sure.
Top church, front fire, top church, guys.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude. Our side you. There's 3 on hill. I'm gonna go top fire. This guy right.
Close. One shot, our mid alley. You put on mid, he's might low fire. Maybe low fire.
I don't see him top right.
Shotzzy. I need our time.
They're gonna be cutting me right. I'm trying to go right there. Send you. Right, Dashy.
I need their side you.
Fire. We gotta kill him. Not streaks. Mid truck. Okay. Good old. Mid truck and bombers over streaks.
Dashy plat. Enter done.
Nice. Dashy plat only for Simp.
Okay.
He probably backed up. He's gonna play streak. I'm gonna nade plat with me. Yes.
I don't have a nade. I'll be bump church.
It's an OpTic lead now. Nero finds some kills through, but I think you heard some frustration. Some maybe swallowed their mic at one point. Not sure what that was.
No, you heard the kind of 4 dead, like, shit. Like, all right, we gotta regain. Because they lost spawns. They lost 50 seconds. The lead change comes in. We saw how good OpTic were here at P2 the first time through. Boston needs a break, and they need one now. But you can just see in the kill feed, it is all OpTic, and this is what I meant with TJ. Right now, 5 and 17. You need everyone to step up on the Boston side, or their tournament is done.
They are getting smoked. You gotta dig deep right now if you're Boston to give yourself a chance. TJ, let's tack another one on. Looking like he was in the WWE, just trying to leap off the top rope, but the triple negative he goes, just nothing working right now. So what, 50-point advantage, next hardpoint pops. This is big for Boston.
It was 100 to 130. The next rotation pop, the beginning of that listen, that's 90 points in a row for OpTic Texas. And now at P3, it could come down to a one-on-one. Vivid wins it. That was huge for Boston because Shotzzy snuck through. Shotzzy, he gets taken down. Boston, now a good setup here at P3.
TJ's finding a few kills in a row. Now glide bomb in. Vivid blown to smithereens. So nobody in the point here for a moment. They're trying to clear him out, and iLLeY will take the fight in the back, catches him right as he starts to sprint. Nero pushes coming. Shot gonna be on point as he finesses the fountain at +5, but can't get around the edge. And all this time, nobody in the point is iLLeY and Dashy continue to win their ones.
That's huge
and
trap
pick
time.
them apart.
Yeah, huge trap time there because the way Church plays out, you know, it's going to be so back and forth.
Well, it was pretty good for Breach last time.
But it looks like TJ's going to hit a nade, so that's going to get him off. But still, down 40 points. Nero, 28 and 22. This man has played so well throughout this series, so well throughout this tournament. Trying to do what he can. You know, Tuscan, it always feels like it comes down to that third P1. Might be the same story here.
Always.
As Boston has just been locking this down. They needed a hill to get back into the game. They found one.
Yeah, this is where they were strong. Not the easiest one to do. And now you have the numbers that now you have the swarm if you are Texas. The 2 players playing inside gonna have to go huge, and Vivid and Nero do absolutely that.
is just 10 points. Now separating the teams. Dashy looking for that opener, but Vivid still tucked away in a corner. It's been 4 in a row for Vivid here. He's been absolutely sensational around the point. Now up to 5. You get in, 15 seconds left. Scump slows down that heater from Vivid as well, but you've really made sure Texas have not gotten much time. Maybe a couple seconds here at the end, but that's really about it. As TJ now maybe found his groove.
Well, on the rotation, though, iLLeY was the only player there. OpTic, they kind of fought for the scrap time, which, you know, tends to happen on Tuscan. Over to P5 now. The nade fest is going to commence. 207 to 200. Boston trying to get it to a map 5. OpTic trying to continue on in the tournament. Methodz locking this down alongside Vivid. A pinch, though, coming in from Shotzzy. Boston reads it, though. They read it. The comms come in. Dude. And Vivid is taking over.
I know his stat line's not that insane, but the number of kills he's got in the hard point in crazy scenarios, the multi-kills have been terrific for this edition of Boston Breach. What has Vivid got left? Because Nero, he's got something in the tank as he's now at 32, but an opening to at least contest. Onto the head goes Dashy. Here comes TJ. He's lurking. The reads there from Scump, but TJ wins a gunfight, now up to 16 after the slow start. And what do you know, Joe? We've got about 10 points that separates the team. We're to a P1. This is the make or break on Tuscan. Here we go.
Yeah, and sometimes it just comes down to that break, right? Can Boston hit the nades? OpTic, they go rotation early. Shots are gonna open things up. The tension building. Now for Boston Breach, how many more attempts do they have at this? Maybe 1 or 2? The nades off a spawn coming in. Nero is gonna open things up a little bit. Staggered though is Boston. Dashy with 2, 10 seconds now. OpTic just 10 seconds away from moving on. They gotta go to Boston Breach.
They're trying to go, but they're locking it down. OpTic putting them on skates as they hold inside. You get in for a moment. Is that going to be enough to survive? Now, you can't quite win it here if you are Breach, but the rotation is going to come in. Just 3 points needed for OpTic. But look at number 8.
Scump's going for the win. Scump's going for the win. Right now, he's going for the W.
Scump's going for the win.
It's one-on-one for the win.
For the W. Scump finds the kill. And that's one of those situations where it's like, you got to play like that if you're Breach, right? Because you got to rotate, you got to get the time. But do you see it? It's a heads-up play from Scump, but it's also like a bit of a gamble. Like, he loses that fight, then maybe you don't have another player on rotation for the fight. But the fact is, he finds the angle, he finds the kill, he comes up clutch, they get the dub.
Yeah, I mean, TJ's thinking, do I leave this? Like, yeah, do I have to leave this, right? He's just put in such a tough position. But Scump says, it's my time, it's money time, baby. Wins the one-on-one, you just saw him lurking. I'm gonna go for it, I think.
You and I were like screaming at the same time. We're just staring at the minimap. You see every arrow darting to the next hard point. He just turns and starts to lurk through.
He's kind of like, I don't know, dude. Like, I might just win this game. I might just win it.
He did. He got the win there, and you get 35 out of Nero. He has a monster back map. TJ starts to bring it back after the really bad start, but just not enough. And once again, for OpTic, you get everybody, and that's been the big thing, because that couldn't be said for the map 1, but you look at the last 2 respawns, that has been the case. It has been a team effort.
And I mean, obviously TJ 18 and 29, but he's right around the damage as the rest of his team. They were able to bring it back, but that P1, P2 second rotation, the 90 points in a row, they just could not find a break Boston. That led OpTic to that win. I mean, they got back in at that church, but comes down to that P1 as it always does.
Yeah, no, their church holds were great. I mean, Vivid and Nero were just popping off there, and there were so many plays you had to love from Vivid at the end of it, but just not going to be enough here. That'll be the end of this tournament run for Boston Breach. Yeah, no, we've got a crazy day ahead of us, but OpTic again, it's like, you know, you keep believing. You lose that map 1, we can bring it back, right? We can bring it back.
Well, I think it's just a little bit different because, you know, in the past it was, all right, we lose map 1, like we're probably going to lose the series, but their search and destroy is there once again. They're trusting in their search and destroy. They have iLLeY, that caller, that mid-round adjustment maker. He's doing it.
He was desperately missed They've been waiting for him to get back into this lineup to regain some of the madness and success they found early in the league. We've got Illy on stage.
Thank you so much, Merc and Maven. Give it up one more time for OpTic Texas. Man, Illy, this crowd loves you. It's been a while since you've been back on land, but you come out, you get a big, important win. How you feeling to be playing on the main stage again?
You already know, I'm feeling good. It's been a while. It's been like, I was out for like 2 months, and just playing on land, it's just a different feeling. It's, I just feel comfortable. It's just my, it's nice. It's different, especially with the crowd like this. This crowd has been insane.
Man, so you guys looked comfortable, okay? Now, first map, you guys fell down, but y'all bounced back into S&D, won some important rounds on control. What was the game plan to really lock in the series against Boston?
I mean, it was honestly just playing our game. We know how good we are when we play our game. We're the best team in the game, and we're just gonna keep doing us. I'm back. The unit's back.
Ooh.
So yeah.
New York, they say they back, okay? Illy, any shout-outs you want to get to this crowd and to the OpTic Texas fans out there?
Shout out to all of the green wall, and especially this crowd. This crowd has been insane. This has probably been the most insane crowd I've seen. You guys are actually incredible. I appreciate you guys.
Keep rocking it out, New York. That's going to do it for me and Illy. Belly, break it all down.
All right. With the backs against the wall and the tournament life on the line, the Boston Breeze said their prayers, but in the end, it was Illy that answered, and the Pope blessed them with a flight back home to Boston. OpTic Texas moves on, and nameless, Boston Breeze are going home.
Man, the Tuscan dominance, and I mean, the veteran plays in the end out of Scump, man, the risk-reward play to take himself out of the rotation and what was going to be a crazy ending to hit the scrap time and get that kill. Just a wonderful play out of Scump, man, but risky as well.
Actually, matter of fact, that is our Scump play of the game. Ali, we all saw it happen. The King took over, and he did not look back.
Not at all. Seeing him take that route through mid while everybody else, you saw all of Boston committed to that rotation, and this is just that veteran play. This is just a play that you expect out of the King, out of a player like Scump, who has been doing this for so long, to be like, there are 7 seconds on that point. Quick maps, we need 3 to win. There is 1 player on that hill. I'm going to hit this route. You see he does it slowly, right? He's checking every single corner. He's going to hit that contest. TJ isn't able to turn in time, gets the kill, and that just wins them the game.
Yeah, in time. You were sitting right behind me. It was a back-and-forth battle. It was absolutely great. Nameless, man, how you feeling?
Man, listen, if Dashy were to lose that gunfight and Scump also dies, they would have spawned out, which is why it was just so risky on the side of Scump. Like, could have costed them the game, but wins it in the end. That's how confident he is. Those are those veteran plays. He's like, yo, let's just not even go to the end here. Like, I'm going to end it right now.
I love it. Tom, what is your takeaway, man? You were sitting with me in the crowd.
I was screaming to the
electric
observers.
Was it?
The observers couldn't hear me, but I was like, go to Scump, go to Scump, go to Scump. You could see he was coming around. You knew what the plan was. In those situations, you always know there's only going to be one guy. There's always just going to be one guy, but you're very right. Risk v reward, the risk pays off to get the job done. But overall, I think in the whole of the series, it just feels like they're starting to heat up a little bit now. Yeah. It's kind of getting there. We honestly had pretty much 0 expectations heading into this major, Ali. I think you probably agree, from OpTic. But they started to heat up, and now they suddenly throw their hat into that ring as contenders for this event, because we know how good they can be, but they now have suddenly heated up and found that form that we expected of them after Major 1.
It really started in the control for me. Control was their best game mode. I mean, they were literally unbeatable, especially on Tuscan. In that map and mode, disgusting. And then they kind of lost their way during stage 4. They were 1-4 in control heading into this. They were seriously struggling to get on their feet after putting Illy back into the roster. So I feel like that control was a big confidence booster for the likes of the OpTic Texas, because now they're feeling comfortable once again in this series. It's not every single mode's kind of like a 50-50, respawn's a 50-50, S&D can be a little bit of a 50-50. Now they might be back into that control dominance that we have seen previously.
Right, and moving forward, talking about Boston Breeze, we have to give them their flowers. Currently knocked out in the event, we will see them again, but nameless, man, team change, a brand new addition to the CDL this year. Boston Breeze did everything you would want from a new addition to this franchise.
Hey, look, man, lessons learned, right? Like playing a tough match up there in front of a crowd that is against you. I don't think Boston's had the crowd against them like that yet. And, you know, these guys had a great stage. They improved in a lot of things. And this is a good roster, right? The roster change works. I think that this stage has proved that. But, you know, hoping they can make a run at champs. They are locked up to go to champs. It's about practicing until then.
And we were having the conversations. We were having meetings beforehand talking about the run that Boston had. and we had it very feasibly in our minds that Boston could have slipped so far down. So after the stage that they have, they've made it to champs now. Yes, they'll be disappointed right in the second, but they have done so well to find themselves in the position they do.
I'm expecting Boston really tear it up in champs, especially with the new addition that we've been all raving about. Vivid and Nero, they're so fun to watch, and they put up a good game. But looking forward to now, we have another series. You won't be on the desk for that one. Toronto versus Los Angeles Thieves. Yeah, you're going to be commentating. All right. What are your honest expectations? Take the EU-UK bias out of it.
There's no bias there. I don't know what you mean. No, honestly, I think it's hard because I think we didn't really have too many expectations for either one of these two teams heading into this event, full stop. Didn't see a good stage out of Ultra. Thieves are kind of been hit and miss all the way through the year. So now they find themselves in the winners bracket semifinals, a top 3 placement guaranteed for one of these two teams. Both of them are looking at this and saying, this is very winnable. This is our route to a really good placement this event.
Right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the points. And Ali, I'm going to need you out with this one. Boston Breach are eliminated, so they are going to stay put. But OpTic Texas sitting pretty in second place at 255.
And this is kind of like a lock-in, right? London Ravens have already fallen out of the tournament, so Atlanta FaZe is locked for #1 seed for champs. I believe this is going to be Texas OpTic. Probably locked in #2 for champs as well. Maybe Toronto Ultra could play spoiler if they win this upcoming matchup. But again, Val, there is still 2 spots left to get into this top 8, and the amount of pressure that is on the LA Thieves. Granted, they're in winners, so they still got their double elim to kind of fall back into a net on, but for them, this is more than just trying to win this tournament. This is trying to continue your Vanguard season.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket as well, as we're about to jump into the Toronto and Los Angeles game. But to see how everything has been done, the loser side of the bracket has been very scary, as the 2 remaining teams nameless in the elimination round 3 are OpTic and FaZe.
I know, that's just wild, man. And looking at this Ultra and Thieves game, like, whoever drops down for that match will play OpTic. But yeah, like Ali said, if Thieves win this, they go to champs. They punch their ticket right here. Like, you don't have to worry about anything, right? So this is a huge game for them, going up against the Toronto Ultra and Search and Destroy, where Ultra's coming off a Game 5 victory. They look good and comfortable there up on land. So gonna look at the LA Thieves to show those improvements there. The respawn looked fantastic. Search Destroy in the last one looked good as well, but we know they can be consistent in S&D.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we saw Insight this morning, and Amanda's looking good, but ladies and gentlemen, we're about to shut down the devs for the first series of the day. But coming up next is an even better one, okay? We have the Los Angeles Thieves and the Toronto Ultra, but the question is, who comes out on top? I'm thinking Bance and Kenny and their electric play. This event in Brooklyn has been phenomenal so far, but once again, shout out to OpTic Texas for running away with the win. I'll catch you on the other side.
too exhausted, I needed the energy, needed to pick me up. I'm in your movie, but this is my cinema. I got the power, I'm built to devour. Anyone coming against me, I tower. I don't care in the pressure. Some of y'all leaving here in the stretcher. Took my time to go and get better. I was reading in the red letters. Ay, hit me with your best shot. I got time today. Feeling like a matador with that Red Bull. Oh yeah. No, you can't stop me. I'm running my own play. For the game win, I came to pin anything that gets in my way. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for.
Mountain Dew and NYSL are giving away tons of prizes all weekend long. Grab your friends and join the Major 4 Metaverse event in Dew Centraland for your chance to win. Visit nyxl.com/dew. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
What's going on, Brooklyn, and welcome back to Major 4 out here in New York. My name is Belly, I'm the host, and we just got off of a very hot series. OpTic Texas were able to eliminate the Boston Breach, and they move forward. But welcome to the desk. We got...
He's tall.
What are you doing here, man?
Ali, I look like a giant.
You like to eat your vegetables. How you doing today, man? How was that last series?
I'm not usually allowed up here. I think I got lost and stumbled up here. But no, the last series was a blast. Dude, I was sweating afterwards. Like, it was intense. We were screaming. We were having fun. And then to get here, this is the first time I've gone to the desk. I had to get through a sea of, like, all the OpTic fans that were going out. So
It was craziness.
It was nuts, man. It was fun. It was fun. They're making the run. They're making the run.
All right, well, we also got Ali and Nameless right here on the desk. But hey, let's jump into it, the maps and modes as well, because for this matchup right here, we have Los Angeles Thieves and also Toronto Ultra, a team that tore it up on land. But Ali, from what we see right now, how you feeling?
Now listen, on this opening Tuscan hardpoint, we've seen both of these teams play this map one, and I'm going to tell you what, they both went very different ways. Toronto lost it by 1 point to the London Royal Ravens, where the LA Thieves beat the Atlanta FaZe over 100 points on it, and so already, I think I have some favorites.
I gotta say though, that triple Berlin in the middle is so good for the Toronto Ultra. I feel like all season long, we've been watching them win Berlin, and here's some stats for you. I mean, Berlin S&D, they've won 8 out of their last 9. Game 3, 4 out of their last 5, and then Game 4, 8 out of their last 9. It's just a weird series here for the LA Thieves because they get rid of Bokaj when it comes to the hard point, and then they get rid of Tuscan when it comes to the control. So it's tough. You have to play those Berlins. So Ultra actually, in my mind, have the edge here in this series.
All right, well, the one team that we are going to start off breaking down are one of the hottest teams in the, this bracket right now. The Los Angeles Thieves, who would have thought it, right? They tore the Atlanta FaZe apart. And Nameless, this team is seeing red, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was hanging out with them earlier today. I mean, they're vibing. They were going over VOD, getting ready for the day. I mean, they're coming off of a hot win. Like, I mean, in terms of victories, that was probably the most dominant victory we've had here in Major 4. It was a 3-1 victory, one glide bomb away from dominating in the controls.
And the first time they beat them, like...
Yeah, it would have been a 3-0. Like, the revenge, it's come full circle now. And I think the biggest thing for these guys is everybody had their moments. Like, every single player popped off in that series. But for the game field keys to victory, Ali, what do they have to do?
I'm looking at Kenny. There's 3 Berlins in this series. I know you said that it favors the Toronto Ultra in that favor, but it specifically favors one player on this roster, and that's going to be Kenny on the Los Angeles Thieves. And be prepared for ultra slow neutral setups on Berlin S&D. Ultra setup neutral, 47% of rounds on Berlin, and winning 67% of the time.
What? So, Toronto Ultra going to be facing off against the Los Angeles Thieves. And Maven, you and I, we never really talked about Toronto's, but it's a bit different than what we've seen last year with Toronto being at the top. But right now, they're trying to reclaim that.
Yeah, it's like where Thieves are trying to finally click with this roster with the expectations. Ultra trying to get back to that, right? And there's no bias here, even though I'm now on the Ultra podcast, but I love these guys. I feel like a lot of people want to root for this team just based on European squads and the history of Call of Duty esports. There wasn't a ton of success, and they have been this success story. It's just been a very frustrating year, and we've talked a lot about, I'm sure, like, who's the play caller, who's the shot caller when you're struggling right now with this title. It's got to be so frustrating. It's got to be.
Yeah, and for the game field keys to victory, they have to find the rhythm in hardpoint. I feel like all season long we've been saying that, man. These guys sometimes play a little bit too strategic, need to get a little bit more mixy, and then at times get broken easily as well. And then hill setups are critical versus Thieves on map 1 Tuscan hardpoint. LAT, they lead the league in break percentage on Tuscan at 36%.
All right, so now it's time for predictions, and I'm gonna start with you, Nameless, all the way at the end right now. Will you rock with the Toronto boys or LA.
I think they get 2 of those maps in the middle. It goes to a game 5, and I mean, Ultra on land, game 5 S&D, like, they're going to take that.
Game
so I'm
5
going with
is
Ultra.
game 5 is such an easy guess this event. I actually love it. So, Toronto Ultra for Nameless. Allie?
Gosh, I don't want to do LA Thieves wrong here at all because they have impressed me far further than I was expecting, but with the triple Berlin, though I have all the faith in the world in Kenny on that map, I have to go Toronto. It's just, they have been lights out, and they have 3 in the middle of the series, and like Nameless said, head to a game 5 at Desert Siege. You have a player like Insight, I have to go Toronto Ultra.
All right, Maven, how you doing, handsome?
I'm thinking Thieves.
You thinking Thieves? Well, you know, Thieves will look good on you, by the way.
Let me see.
There we go.
Do I get to wear these?
Yeah.
They're not going to fit on my head.
You're going to look like the smartest analyst out there.
Oh, do I look like a Call of Duty analyst now?
There we go. There you go.
I look like Joe DeLuca. I look like a college math professor.
Kind of hot.
But a hot one.
Yeah, big time, right? But
listen, I'm thinking Thieves because the pressure is on them. Like, they control their destiny right now. They get a win. It's got to be frustrating when you don't control your destiny. They do. They can do it. Backs against the wall. They're going to show something.
I definitely believe in those players as well. But
do I actually look hot?
You look good.
I think you do.
Thank you.
I'm rocking with the LA Thieves as well because what they did to Atlanta FaZe shows that LA Thieves mean absolute business. But ladies and gentlemen, enough talk and predictions right here on the desk. Let's jump into the game. We have Toronto Ultra and the Los Angeles Thieves. Let's get it in.
Haters talking to me, tell them pipe down. Or it's lights out. Zeros on the debit, baby, all I do is swipe now. Gucci sweater 5,000. Stunning, buzzing. I be going up, no ceiling. Wow, ballin', running. Getting to the paper, I'm peeling. Ow. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. Ain't no option, ain't no secondary. I just throw it out like a Hail Mary. Legendary. For the Røkkr. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hate. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and eggs. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the.
Octane.
That's what we wanted. That's what I'm talking about. He don't miss. All record deals. Tell him talk to Colin for the quote. All record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the Røkkr, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
New York City! Are you ready? We got another winner bracket matchup coming up. And coming to the stage, looking to run up another dub. Make some noise for the Los Angeles Thieves. We got Octane, Drazah, Kenny, and Envoy, your Los Angeles Thieves.
Coming off of a dominant victory versus the Atlanta FaZe, these boys have been running it up. Everyone popped off in their last series, and they got a tough match ahead of them versus the Toronto Ultra. With a W in this match, they secure a spot at COD Champs, and I know they want it right now. Guy, let's bring out the Ultra boys.